Hey everybody, just wanted to give you an update. It's been a while since I've done a long format video. Been having some success with the short videos, picking up some subscribers. Thank you guys for that. It definitely motivates me to make more content. So we are into the fall officially now, September 23. And yeah, what's hanging on in my garden? That's what I want to show you today. And what have we set ourselves up with for the future? So first, I'll take you over to this second successional squash that I've planted. It's a zucchini actually called Astia. It's not particularly tasty, but what it is good at is growing quickly and avoiding powdery mildew. So you can see this guy is really starting to take off and hit his stride. That'll be the second fruit coming off of it. We've pulled the zucchini off it already. It's cool to get them in September. We had a pretty good storm a while back that blew over all our heavy, stocky amaranth, so that's what's laying all over the place. These flower heads will eventually dry out, turn into seed heads, and then you can process that into the grain that amaranth is known for. These nice leaves you can use in salads if you like them. Sometimes when the plant's a little more mature like this, they're not as tasty, but when these plants are younger, we will eat the greens. I've got an old goat of a squash you might remember from earlier videos hanging on here. This is a scallop squash that it's called Benning's Green Tint. That's what they look like. This guy is probably a day or two away from being picked. You can see it's still trying to make me squash despite its age and disease. And man, look how many times I re-rooted this thing because of squash vine borers. I like to keep on rooting. That's the original stem. It looks like trash. But it's rooted over here, it's rooted here, it's rooted here. You'll see I make a point of burying the stem anywhere that it wants to root, and that gives me insurance and makes my squash last late into the season, if you're ever wondering how we do it here. Speaking of which, we got another squash over here that's still hanging on. This is supposed to be a compact variety. It went absolutely nuts this year. You can see it is still cranking out these small yellow squash called chiffons. Definitely going to plant those every year, but that might be the last batch that come off this plant. It's starting to look a little tired. You can see that they don't look great, but we have tons of cherry tomatoes coming in super late. This variety is called Artemis. It's very flavorful, but prone to scabbing. Got some more orange ones over here. These are orange Peruche. These are, what are you called? It's one of the tigers. Oh, it's called Blush. See, all the marigolds are super happy this time of year. I know we have some blighted leaves to clean up, but I want to show you this tomato that starts way over here, comes up the trellis over here, and then in the manner of James Prigioni, inspired by him, we put it up into our plum tree here. Thought you'd find that funny. See, we actually hooked the tomato into this plum tree, and our reward was trusses and trusses of nice orange tomatoes. So maybe we'll do that again in the future. Or maybe we'll leave the plum tree alone. This marigold here is just going beast mode. It took a long time to flower, but man, we are being rewarded. These things are like beacons in our garden right now. They're definitely the first thing to grab your attention. We have some peppers finally starting to turn red. It wasn't a great pepper year for us. It usually isn't, honestly. We usually have to work pretty hard to get anything, but patience has paid off, and we got some nice peppers coming in finally. Got some yellow Hungarian peppers. These are called Lesia. This green guy over here will probably pick green. So it's late September and we're in zone 5, and we still got cuke plants that are going strong. The reason for that, I know, disease, right? The reason for that is that this is a round 2 cucumber situation over here. We planted these not that long ago, and they've just kind of taken off in this new spot. We gave them some fresh compost, but we're getting a second round of cucumbers. They're not like cranking them out, but we're getting steady cukes at this point, so pretty happy about that. Anybody watching that hasn't subscribed yet, I recommend it just so that you see these pumpkin videos we're going to start putting out. I already have a short video out if you haven't seen it of us harvesting this guy here. But we got plenty more lurking around here. Here, I'll take you out to where our compost pile used to be, sort of the epicenter of this pumpkin situation. You can see a big lunker lurking in there. Got a big guy lurking in there. We got one out there too. We've also got these smaller pumpkins that we'll be able to show off at some point. Didn't get too many of them, but we got a fair number. It's funny, the pumpkins that we plant intentionally never do as well as the ones that just pop up out of the compost pile. This is a tomato that's really good at hanging on late into the season. It's called Chef's Choice. They also tend to hold up a lot better to disease. This is Chef's Choice Orange. I guess there are a bunch of different ones, red, yellow. Here's a super beefy amaranth. Sneak peek and an upgrade that we recently got from a family friend. We got these new compost bins. That's gonna let us really become more efficient with making our own compost, because right now this is what we're doing. Big old pile. That one's mostly done. I just turned it. Here's a pile I've been taking from of mature compost. We've been freezing a ton of squash, but the other thing that's been filling our freezer is pole beans. These guys have been so reliable this year. We have frozen many, many quarts. Got a bunch of different varieties, purple, green. This one here is called Blauhild. This one's funny looking, but it makes a fat purple bean that's just delicious and does well. These are taller than me. I'm over 6, woo, I'm well over 6 feet. These are up at probably 8 feet right now, just trying to reach into the sky. They're out of room though, so they should probably figure something out. It's another big old curtain of beans over here. You can see they're still coming in strong. So this is definitely going to be our best bean year on record. It's not all sunshine and rainbows here at Garden by the Brook. These cuke plants are tired, and I should put them out of their misery. This is the first round of cukes, but they keep making cukes really slowly, but they look nice, and they're all up here on the trellis, so they're all getting a perfect shape. So we're gonna let them see what they can do. Coming in evenly, you know. We'll keep them watered, see if they can finish these last ones, and then maybe we'll pull them. One last thing to show you before saying goodbye for today. We have a Chicago hardy fig here that, if you can believe it, all of this growth you see this year, this came out of the ground in June and just took off. This thing every year so far has died back completely, shot up new stalks, and then grown from square zero basically. We're hoping this year it got far enough that these canes will stick around over the winter, and then it'll have a jump start for next year. But you can see we got figs on here that are probably not going to finish. But we've never even seen them appear in the past, so hey, it's a step in the right direction.
Well, that's all for now. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead and hit that like button if you liked this. Help us out, help us grow on YouTube, and consider subscribing if you want to see more like this. Peace.